from the deep, dark hollows of southeastern Kentucky, where the stories are strange, the moonshine is strong, and your neighbor is probably your cousin. This is Appalachia, not so quiet. Hey, welcome back, everybody. I am your host, Hillbilly Phantom, and as always, I'm joined by my lovely wife.
Watching Shade.
Hello, Shade, my darling.
Hello.
How's your day been?
Good. I went swimming today.
Yeah, got in a little exercise today.
Yeah, good to hang out with some family.
Yeah, you'll sleep good tonight.
I hope so.
Yeah, that swimming takes it out of you, man. I got to have a little bit of family time.
Yep. Needed that.
Yeah, you always need family time. So, our last episode, we discussed some more ghost stories, a little bit of my ghost hunting, my experiences on Frozen Creek. That really seemed to boost the listens a little bit.
Yeah.
We're over 350 now.
356 is what I read.
356. Wow. Out of just 12 episodes.
This will be 13.
Yeah. So, yeah, we're over 30 listeners per episode. That's wow. That is incredible. Thank you all so much for tuning in and listening to our rambling.
That means we have expanded past family and friends.
Yeah, indeed we have. Because we don't have 30 family and friends that are listening every single episode.
We actually had a listener that just recently moved to Knott County give us a shout out. He's like, "Hey, I'm glad I found you guys."
Yeah, just moved from Florida.
Yeah, was her name Hannah?
Yeah,
her name was Hannah.
Yeah.
So hey, Hannah, if you're listening.
Yeah, thanks for listening. We're glad that you found us and that you enjoy listening to us. Welcome to Appalachia. Don't take all these stories too seriously. We don't want to scare you away and send you back to Florida. We'd like you to stick around. So tonight we're going to get a little serious again. Way back on episode 5, it was a missing person, Kelly Holland Jr.
Mm-hmm.
And we decided that we wanted to get back to the missing person thing because that was one of our top rated episodes. Like it's got a lot more listens than most of the others, right along our pilot episode, I believe.
That was an interesting case altogether.
Yeah, still a mystery. It's like this little boy just disappeared. Nobody's seen him since. And I don't know that we answered any questions with our podcast or anything, but we were just putting the information out there. But it seemed to be a popular thing. A lot of people liked hearing about this child and, the mystery surrounding his disappearance.
It's getting the word out there too. And continuing the search.
When you got a case as it grows old, there's less and less attention. Not as many people talking about it anymore. It's always good to bring these cases back to the forefront of everybody's thoughts. They haven't probably talked about Kelly Holland Jr. in many years.
Yes.
I think the most recent thing we found was like 2010 or something.
No, it was 2018.
2018. It's been several years, but it's always good to try to bring it back to the forefront, make people remember.
Yeah, and be aware.
Yeah, and realize these people are still missing. Keep your eye out. It's entirely possible that these people might be out there.
And he may not realize that he is a missing child now, as an adult.
Yeah, I mean, when you're that young,
yeah,
it's possible.
And there's a possibility that, due to this trauma, that he's kind of pushed this back in his head and he doesn't, like I said, realize that he's a missing child.
Yeah.
After all these years, he's just kind of.
Yeah. When you're that young, it's entirely possible.
Yeah.
But you've just kind of been taught to forget.
Or you've made yourself forget.
Because of the traumatizing experience.
Yeah.
Like I said, we were wanting to do another episode to discuss another missing person from Knott County. And then here just recently, while we were preparing for this, another child went missing.
Yeah, just last week in a county, neighboring county.
Yeah, and over in Breathitt County, around Jackson.
Yeah, in the Panbo area.
Yeah, a young boy, I think around 10 years old, Jaden Spicer, went missing down around Jackson, and he's another child that it seems like he just disappeared. So you've got some information there, Shade,
Yep.
about the disappearance of this little boy. Why don't you go ahead and talk about it?
This is the latest article from LEX 18 out of Lexington. Says it's been now almost a week since his family has seen him. Jaden Spicer was reported missing in Breathitt County. Multiple agencies are working to locate the boy, employing a variety of resources and search methods. Kentucky State Police have focused their investigation around Jaden's mother says she last saw him in a bed at home. A neighbor who chose to remain anonymous recounted the moment Jaden's mother knocked on her door last Wednesday around 9 a.m. looking for help. She was crying and she asked if she could use my phone. I gave it to her and she called 911 telling me and them that my child is missing. Troopers have indicated that Jaden recently moved in with his mother following the passing of his grandmother. She also explained to me that she went to bed with her husband around 9, and then when they woke up in the morning, went to the place that her kid was sleeping. They found out that he wasn't there. The search operations have been complicated by rugged terrain, thick brush, and nearby ponds and creeks. Trooper Matt Gayhart shared that they're using a range of search tools, including drones, sonar technology, canine units, and teams conducting foot searches throughout the area. According to troopers, Jaden was last seen wearing a Sonic the Hedgehog pajama set. In light of the ongoing search, the investigation has expanded beyond the initial 22-mile radius. As search teams hope to recover any leads that could point to Jaden's whereabouts, multiple agencies are working tirelessly in the efforts, and they are urging anyone with information regarding Jaden's location to contact the Kentucky State Police directly, and this will be Post 13 in Hazard at 606-435-6069. The community is rallying around the family and hoping Jaden returns safely. There's a reward for $7,200. I think I seen a post that said that.
Yeah.
For his whereabouts. At first, they just thought that he had walked away from the home, but it's starting to turn to other things that could possibly have happened to him. But we don't want to go into any more detail till we have more facts and things like that. So more on this story is to come for sure.
Yeah, we're not. We're probably not going to spend a lot of time on it. Everybody's talking about this right now. If you go over on TikTok or something, you'll see hundreds of videos of people discussing it and giving their own theories about everything. Yeah, we're hoping that maybe some more information comes to light. And we can talk more about it. But this is just another strange disappearance. It's like this kid, he just
disappeared,
vanished. I mean, he was in the bed at 9 o'clock. And the parents went to bed, and then in the morning they get up and
he's not there.
He's not there.
Yeah.
He's
a 10-year-old just got up and walked away from his home.
Yeah, it's so bizarre. And it reminded me of Kelly Holland Jr. and that bizarre case where this child just disappeared out of his front yard. No sign of him. This also led us back to where we were going to start with this episode, another missing person that is from Knott County and actually very close to us, just right down the road. Yeah. There's been a push to try to find answers in this case for many, many years. Now, before we go any further, I want to be clear about something. Everything that we're about to discuss in this segment is like our personal opinion and speculation that has happened based on public available information, news reports, and even Facebook statements and things of that nature made by those involved.
Yeah, these are not confirmed facts. We're not accusing anyone of a crime. We're exploring possible scenarios and asking questions, just like many people in the community have over the years. And if you have any information about this case, we really urge you to contact the Kentucky State Police, especially Post 13 in Hazard.
Yeah, definitely. This has been going on for a decade, and they really need some answers. The family needs some answers. So if anybody out there might know anything at all or has seen anything at all regarding this young lady, please contact the police. All right, so this happened in Fisty, Kentucky, right in our area.
Knott County.
Yeah, in Knott County. Fisty, for those who may not know, is spelled Fisty, Fisty, but it's pronounced Feisty. People get that wrong all the time. But it's very small community. It's just the area there around the Clear Creek area. And I mean, we know a lot of the people in the area. I think a lot of the people know us. And, word travels fast. Feisty, not
Yeah, like wildfire. It
right.
spreads really quickly.
We have groups that has some of our neighbors in them on Facebook and things of that nature. And so something happens on the holler, we're usually informed.
Yeah, right away.
In some way. So yeah, when this happened, yeah, it spread like wildfire. It was everywhere when we realized that this young lady was missing. Natasha Fugate Jones. She was a daughter, a mother, a friend, and one morning she was just gone. I actually happened to know Natasha, sort of. We went to school together. She was a few years behind me. I think she might have been a sophomore when I was a senior. And, she was a cheerleader. She was a good student and she was real nice. She wasn't snooty or anything of that nature. She pretty much got along with everybody. And my interactions with her were pretty much limited to just, in school activities. The cheerleading team were always wanting us to come make poster boards for them for their pep rallies and things of that nature. So that was the biggest part of my interaction with her, was doing things like that. We never hung out outside of school, anything like that. We just weren't that close. And after high school, I don't think I had spoke to her maybe once or twice, because I worked at a local convenience store, and it seems like she may have come in there a couple of times, just like, hey, just usual pleasantries. Hey, how you doing? Blah blah blah.
Yeah, she was always a down to earth person.
Yeah, she was very. You knew her a little bit because
yeah, our sons went to school together.
Yeah, and you said she was
very active mom.
Yeah, really active in her
involved in their lives.
Yeah, they were into sports, all kinds of various activities, and she was always right there with them. Yeah. So she was obviously a great mom, and like I said, what I knew of her, she was a great person, got along with everybody. But she did kind of find herself on the wrong side of the law, and the family makes no argument against that.
No, they don't.
Yeah, they openly admit, she had issues. She had some drug problems and things of that nature.
And there's no one in Knott County that can't say that someone in their family has not been affected by being addicted to drugs.
It seems to affect everybody.
It's in every family. So
yeah, it seems to be. It really does.
You would be wrong to judge.
It's an epidemic that has devastated our area, and I've got a lot of kids. I went to school with some of my fellow classmates and think, Natasha is just one of them that ended up just turning to other substances to, cope with life or whatever.
But she didn't let that affect, like I said, the mother that she was. She was there for those boys.
She wasn't your stereotypical, I guess, person that was dealing with drugs.
They don't care about their kids.
That is just all about the fix and was ignoring their family. And
like I said, she was deeply involved.
She was obviously deeply involved with her kids. So still a good person. Drugs don't make you a bad person. They really mess up your life. Unfortunately, she was involved in those things. It's been, like I said, it's been a decade, 10 years since she disappeared. It was May the 7th.
Is what we're reporting.
Yeah. I think that's the agreed upon.
Yes.
From the police and everything. She officially went missing on May the 7th of 2015. The family is still searching for answers because, like I said, she's another one that seems to have just vanished.
And her mother refuses to stop searching.
So tonight we're going to talk about the final hours of Natasha's, before she disappeared. The last she was known to be alive. And these aren't rumors. These are all public words.
Yeah, they're all over social media.
Of all those,
those articles.
All those involved, all those who were with her, and even her mother, who has Facebook page in Natasha's honor, trying to find her. Yeah, where's Natasha? And she's not giving up. She believes that
she's still out there.
Yeah, Natasha's out there somewhere.
So it says that Natasha had just left a rehab facility in Harlan just a few days prior to, like a short period prior to her last known disappearance at home at her grandmother's house. She went straight to her grandmother's home on a narrow road called Singleton Branch Road, where her 2 young sons lived.
Yeah, her sons were living with grandma because Natasha didn't have any.
Didn't have custody
Yeah,
of
didn't have a
them.
house, and yeah, didn't have custody, and she was trying to get clean apparently because she was at rehab.
So, according to the Troublesome Creek Times, her grandmother, Ola Faye Chaffins, had returned home from a doctor's appointment that day, and Jones had left a letter for her son, Hunter, and Connor under a pillow. And it told the boys that she was just going to be gone for 2 or 3 days and not to be sad, that she will be back. But she never returned home.
Yeah, and apparently this was that it wasn't a cause for concern to her grandma and her sons. Apparently, she had done this before.
It was
Left
in her character to be
right.
gone for a few
Yeah, she
days.
would go off with her friends, and I'm not even going to try to speculate what she might have been doing, but we know she had a drug issue, so probably drugs were involved. But it wasn't totally uncommon for her to leave for a couple days and then be back.
Yeah.
Now, she said that in the note, didn't she say something about
She was gonna go looking for a place where they could all be together.
yeah, like she was looking
Mhm.
for a house or something.
Yeah. And that her grandma said that she remembers her leaving with a friend, and that was the last time she saw her granddaughter, Natasha.
And yeah, the friend apparently that picked her up was, a pretty good friend of Natasha's, because I also know this friend. She was also in the same school and everything. She was in the same grade as me. She was a senior. She graduated with me. So, this is somebody that you kind of always saw Natasha with.
Yeah. Yeah, they had been friends for, I mean,
Yeah. Yeah.
probably the
Many
entirety
years.
of school.
So the state police confirmed, they made an official statement that said Natasha Fugate Jones was last seen by family members on May 7th, 2015, at her residence on Singleton Branch in Fisty. Numerous tips have been looked into, yet none have led to Natasha Jones. Okay, and if you'll remember on our Kelly Holland Jr. discussion, I told you that I looked up a lot of his information on Unsolved Appalachia. So, of course, we looked up Natasha on Unsolved Appalachia as well. She's on there. And according to that, it says Natasha was later with an unnamed male acquaintance who told police he dropped her off at a reclaimed strip mine where she allegedly ran into the woods and never returned. So, this is where I say it's kind of she just suddenly disappeared,
The woods.
like Kelly Holland. If you are believing this person who gave the statement saying that that's the last time they saw her,
Right.
that she ran off to the woods, then that means she just vanished without a trace, just like Kelly Holland Jr. And that's if you believe this last witness.
In the immediate aftermath, authorities mounted extensive searches, helicopters and search dogs, and ground teams combed the rugged hills and hollers surrounding the area. And I know there were several days that they flew over our house and things like that hunting for
Yeah,
her.
they were all over the place
Yeah.
looking for her. Yeah, we had a lot of helicopters flying over the house during that time period.
And they had hundreds of tips that had poured in over the years, but none of them had produced the lead investigators needed to find Natasha or explain her disappearance. So, also found in the same article talking about her grandma saying how she returned back from her appointment. Natasha wasn't there.
Yeah.
This is from the Troublesome Creek Times as well. And police officer Jody Sims said that they had sent multiple people to do searches for a body and still no follow up or any potential leads that came in. Information that came in for months, and they followed up. And Sim advised that they had dug up and drained a pond up on one of the strip mine
Oh,
sites.
really? So
Yeah,
they drank the silt ponds.
they didn't find anything.
I don't remember hearing about them draining a pond. So yeah, I don't think I even knew that part.
And so, while I was doing my research, I found a post from the Kentucky State Police on October the 5th of 2015. And it says KSP seeks public help in case of missing Knott County woman. Investigators with Kentucky State Police Post and Hazard are seeking assistance from the public as they continue to search for a missing Knott County woman. Natasha Fugate was last seen by her family member on May 7th, 2015 at her residence on Singleton Branch in Fisty. KSP Post 13 began its investigation on June the 7th. Now, my question is, why a month
Right.
later?
Why did it take a month for the
Yeah.
investigation to
Why did it take a
actually
full
officially begin?
month to begin to look for her?
Yeah, that's right off the bat. That seems a little strange.
So, what I can find is, according to the Lexington Herald, that the state police began searching on June the 7th, and that was the same day that the report was filed by the family.
Okay, so they,
Yeah,
so it was the family that didn't report her missing until June the 7th.
exactly 1 month.
Exactly 1
Yes,
month later. So they figured a month, that was too long.
right.
She had disappeared for a while before. She'd gone off with friends or whatever and been gone for several days
Mhm.
at a time before, but never a month.
Yeah, that was pushing it.
So that's when they finally, we better go to the police. And I'm assuming they couldn't get up with her. I think she had a cell phone and maybe they just couldn't get a hold of her. But I guess that maybe that wasn't that unusual either. She may not have had any minutes on her cell phone or something, because back then a lot of people were still using those phones. You get at Walmart and you just buy minutes for them.
So by the 30 days, the really critical hours and days had already been lost.
That's the crappy thing is they didn't really want to believe that she was gone or anything,
Yeah.
that she would come back, and then when she didn't, they had to inform the police, and the police didn't have a lot to go on by that time. Now, according to multiple news outlets, Natasha's family had raised the reward for information regarding Natasha to $15,000.
Yeah, it first started out with $2,000. One of her sons had put up his four-wheeler
Yeah,
to try and get their mama home.
I remember that. Yeah, he was willing to give up whatever he had
So bring her home.
to try to find his mommy, and that was so sad, man.
It was.
This kid, he was ready to give up anything he owned, anything you might have wanted that he had. He was going to give it to you if you had any information about his mom. Through the community and others that had seen the story and had donated, I think through probably a GoFundMe or something.
Yeah.
That they were able to get the reward up to $15,000 by late 2018 in the hopes that it would spark new leads. As of the last publicly available reports, that was still the most recent figures. Apparently, it's still $15,000 is the amount they have regarding information leading to Natasha.
Yeah. But we can't, it
Yeah,
may not be effect today.
right. Yeah, it's unclear whether it's still in effect or not. But the most recent records, reports say that it $15,000, but that's been several years ago.
Yeah.
So now we're going to go on to Natasha's friend, the one that picked her up. Like I said, I know her as well. Her name is Joan Engel. And as far as I know, Joan has been completely upfront with her side of the story. I don't think she's changed the story or anything of that nature. So her account seems to be pretty legitimate. Joan was with her the day she disappeared. Like I said, she's the friend who came and picked Natasha up. And in a public Facebook comment, okay?
Yes.
So this is Joan's own words. I have cooperated with the police in every way possible, took and passed a lie detector test, and I have plenty of pics of my friend of 20 plus years. I just don't think posting pictures of me and her and our kids is going to help a damn thing. You don't know me or anything about me and have no right to speculate on anything that happened that day or any time thereafter. And she's made a few different posts. You've got another one there.
Yeah, this one was actually shared with on the Where's Natasha Facebook group.
Yeah, which is the group run by Natasha's
and
mom.
It was shared on August 1st, 2015. And this is a comment with a picture of Natasha from Joan, a statement. Picked her up that morning and was supposed to be her ride. And when we met up with Virgil, she left with him. She is grown, and honestly, I didn't think anything would happen to her. I miss her more than you know. and anyone that thinks that I'd hurt her obviously doesn't know me at all. I've been through hell and back with her. So please don't point fingers and be shitty with me. I'm blaming myself enough knowing I didn't do anything bad to her. And I don't need other people judging me too. I need to know where she is, just as bad as you. And Virgil hasn't even spoke to me and Josh since I seen him wearing her Nike pants 3 days after she disappeared. I seen him one time and Josh kept asking him where she went and he kept telling different stories. Josh called him out on his lies and he won't speak to us now. He's trying to blame it on us and the dumbasses around here that don't even know me are believing that shit. I have nothing to hide. And if anyone has anything different to say, they need to come talk to me, not leave comments on my fucking Facebook. I want my friend home.
Yeah, so like I said, she's she's pretty adamant that she had nothing to do with it, and as far as I know, her story has stayed pretty
Pretty consistent.
pretty consistent through all this. And she has worked with the police, as far as I know. And she says she took a lie detector and passed it. I don't know, but yeah, I mean, she claims she did anyway.
Yeah, it's definitely a defense in her action, pushing back against the rumors.
Yeah. She says she did everything the police asked, but the questions just aren't going to stop when you've got somebody that's still missing. So, being one of the last people to see her live, of course, people are going to point the finger.
Mhm.
You have to know something. You have to. And she's saying that this is all she knows. She dropped Natasha off to this guy, Virgil, and Natasha left with him, and she hasn't seen her since. So, this guy that she supposedly left with after being with Joan is Virgil Singleton. Now, he has also, staunchly denied that he has anything.
Yeah, he's publicly made it.
He's made several Facebook posts as well. We have a few of those in a public Facebook post. Virgil shared a prayer. I believe he shared this on the Where's Natasha Facebook. It says, Dear Heavenly Father, I'm come before you today just asking that you be with Natasha and her family through these hard times and just watch over them, Lord. And Lord, please forgive them for everything they have said about me. They don't know any better. And please just soften their hearts and open their eyes that they might see that I am truly innocent. In Jesus' name I pray, amen. And he also has another Facebook post where he shared a picture.
Yes. Well, this was shared on Where's Natasha's page as well on September the 16th, 2015. And someone had posted this above the screenshot of his post. And it says that she went missing on May the 5th. And the understanding that everyone agreed it was May the 7th that she went missing. But this post that Virgil made was on May the 4th.
Okay, so he makes this post on May the 4th, and then somebody who took a screenshot of his post says she went missing on May 5th, but she didn't. It was the 7th.
Right.
So, yeah, I'm not sure what that's all about. But okay, yeah, go on with the post.
So it's a post on Virgil Singleton's Facebook page. And it says, Wasted, thank you, Jagger gods, loving life for once. And it's a picture of Natasha and her friend Joan Ingle.
Joan, yeah. And they're all smiles, and obviously they've been drinking Jagger.
Yeah, she has the Jagger bottle in her hand.
So that was made on May the 4th.
Yes.
So wasn't she supposed to be at rehab?
Yeah. They said a few days prior to her disappearance.
Yeah, she came home from rehab. So did she not actually go to rehab, or was that?
So I also seen a
or she came from rehab and went drinking with her buddies.
I also seen a statement on Unsolved Appalachia that she actually got home on May the 6th and stayed all night with her grandmother and her children and then left the next morning with the note under their pillow. So she was home on May the 6th. So from the 4th to the 6th, the 4th, obviously she was partying, if that was, a recent photo. Or was she on the 5th?
Well, I mean, you're assuming that this is.
Did she just go to rehab for one day?
Yeah. Or had she been at rehab and she actually got out on like May the 4th or something? She went drinking with her friends for a few days before she went home.
Yeah, returned home to her kids.
I don't know, but she was in rehab. It was a drug rehab.
Yeah.
So, maybe she did do the drug rehab, and then instead of drugs, she went out drinking. I'm just throwing out speculation.
So there was also a post from, it says husband on the text message, so I'm going to assume Misty was his wife at the time of Virgil.
Yeah.
And they had, I'm not going to read all of their private text message, just a specific part.
Okay. Wait. So this is an actual
text message
back and forth between
Yes,
Virgil
that
and his wife.
Yeah, that she had screenshot and shared with
So
the
his
public.
wife took a screenshot of this and shared it.
Like I said, I'm not sure if it was a girlfriend that
Yeah.
says wife. I mean, it says husband. That's what she had him saved in her phone as.
Okay.
So his statement to her was, Misty, I think you're missing the point. The truth that I didn't do anything like that at all. Did the police tell you that I voluntarily took a voice stress analyst test, lie detector test, and passed it? I didn't throw away anything anyway. You walked away broken, asking me anything about it, and refused to listen.
So he's saying in this, and this was a screenshot that was shared in a Facebook post or something.
Yes.
Yeah. That this Misty had taken, and he says that he took this voice stress analysis test, which is basically a lie detector test, and says he passed it. But every other bit of information we found says that he failed the lie detector test.
Yes, I have a public statement from her mother from Where's Natasha post that says, this is from Shirley, her mother, Shirley Fugate. The main suspect in my daughter's disappearance caught this morning at 4:33 a.m. for meth. Imagine that. Now he's the suspect because he was given a polygraph test back in 2015 and failed it miserably at 97%. So I'm asking once again, anyone who knows where Natasha is, please tell us so we can bring her home. A lot of people know of why, for God's sake, won't tell us. They won't tell us. It's out of fear or what? Remember the reward. And at this time, the reward amount was $10,000 for solid information to Natasha's whereabouts to bring her home.
Okay, so yeah, this post was made before they got up to the $15,000 reward, and she seems pretty convinced that Virgil was involved somehow.
No one has fought any harder for answers for Natasha than her mother, Shirley.
Yeah, absolutely. She's been,
And all of her words have always been filled with urgency and determination.
yeah, she's not stopped trying to find her daughter, and yeah, I can't blame her. I mean, it's unfortunately unlikely that Natasha has survived all this time without contacting anybody.
And so some people may speculate that maybe Shirley is upset because her daughter's missing and just saying that Virgil, the suspect, is on meth and just making this up to make him seem out to be a bad guy.
Right. Yeah.
But there is evidence that we have found that he is recovering addict. So her statement is plausible that Virgil made on May 10th, 2023, and it's a photo of himself of recovery week. Said his before and after photo. So there is that.
So yeah, he's a recovering addict. So obviously he was
Yeah.
on drugs, involved in
Right.
drugs, things of that nature.
Her mama knows his, background.
Yeah. So yeah, obviously she knew this guy. She, thought he was bad news.
Yeah.
He was on drugs, and she's convinced that he had something to do with Natasha's disappearance. And it would definitely seem to point in that direction, since, like I said, everything else you look at says he failed that lie detector test.
Right.
But here he was, claiming in a text message, at least to his wife, that
even
he passed it.
Unsolved Appalachia stated that he failed the test.
Yeah,
so.
I mean, almost every news story you look at regarding Natasha's disappearance, it says that he failed the lie detector test. So I do want to go back and touch on something now. When I read the Facebook post that Virgil had made that was like a prayer. Somebody had commented, I guess, underneath his post and was asking him where's she at, and claims that the phrase you told someone was, she's a rat and she is where rats belong. So where is she? So it seems that this guy made a comment about Natasha being a rat.
Yeah.
And given the fact that she just had a recent run in with law enforcement
Been
and
to rehab, supposedly.
yeah, she's been to rehab and all this stuff, she may have, they do it all the time. Hey, if you want to reduce your sentence or your fine or whatever, give us a name.
Yeah, because she had a pretty hefty,
Right.
there was a couple of them on there said 5 years for each count.
Right.
So that's 10 years.
So is this one of those occasions where she gave up somebody and they didn't like it and they took her out? Or did Virgil tell the truth and she just ran off into the woods and disappeared?
As a mother, you're not running from your kids this long. You're not going to run into the woods.
Yeah, well, she may have run off into the woods, but the only place she would have,
if he was confronting her.
You might run off into the woods, but you're going to be running to your home, to your kids. You're not going to just run away, especially somebody like Natasha, which, like you said, she was very involved in her kids' life and their schooling, their athletics, everything. She was there for them. So, yeah, it seems extremely unlikely that if she did just run off into the woods, that she would have just kept running and disappeared.
Right, and she growed up on that holler, so she probably knows it like the back of her hand.
Yeah.
In the dark, she probably could have run it blindfolded.
Yeah, she was close to our age, and all of us, we ran around in the hills and stuff. Yeah. So I'm sure she knew the hills around that area.
Yeah, and it was something quite common for people of our ages to go back on the strip mine sites and have a little party and things like that.
Yeah, yeah.
So you knew your location, you knew your whereabouts, and like I said, if you're familiar with the hills, you go downhill to get home, not uphill.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Go down the hill, find you a creek, follow the flow of the creek, you'll find people. So it seems very unlikely that that is the explanation. So there's definitely more to the story. It seems like not everybody is.
They're not willing to tell it.
Willing to tell everything that they know.
Yeah, that's definitely what Shirley said. So they're not willing to. They're cowards. Yeah. I'm afraid to say.
Right.
So yeah, we have 3 people, 3 different accounts, all public. A friend who says that she cooperated fully, a man declaring his innocence, and a mother pointing to the person she believes holds the answers. And here we are 10 years later. No one has been charged. Natasha's still missing. And here in Knott County, the whispers just haven't stopped.
Yeah, it's just so frustrating because Natasha is not the kind of person that would just disappear, on her own. She wasn't trying to run away from her problems. It sounds like she may have been actually trying to fix them. But like I said, you get involved with the wrong types of people and the wrong types of things, and it can really mess up your life.
And I know for Shirley and Natasha's 2 boys that every day without answers is another day without peace. And here in these mountains, we're still asking the same questions. Say, we're 10 years ago. Where's Natasha?
Yeah. Where's Natasha? Somebody has to know.
And if you have any, information of her disappearance.
Yeah. Please
contact the State Police Post 13 in Hazard at 606-435-6069. And you can remain anonymous with your tips or leads. You don't have to, tell them your name.
Right.
Just what happened? Where is she?
Yeah, this family just wants answers and they want closure. So if anybody out there can answer these questions, can bring them that closure, then please contact the police, contact the family. Let somebody know.
Yeah.
Natasha needs to be found. She's been gone for 10 years, and that's too long without answers. And unfortunately, she's, joined the ranks with Kelly Holland Jr., who's been gone over 40 years now.
And as a mother, if this were my child, I would be wanting answers. I Shirley probably can't peacefully sleep at night. And for her kids, I can't
imagine, man. Being, how old were her kids?
They were in elementary school when this happened.
Yeah. I want to say, like, they weren't even teenagers yet.
No. No.
Yeah, they were like 10 and 11, somewhere in there.
Yeah.
So, yeah, to just have your mom all of a sudden disappear and not be able to find any answers. And it's got to be so frustrating for those kids and for her mom. So, to recap, we have Natasha Fugate Jones, missing person, resident of Knott County, Kentucky. Missing since May 7th, 2015. She was last seen by family members at her residence on Singleton Branch, Fisty, Kentucky. Her disappearance remains unsolved despite multiple leads, public appeals, and rewards offered. Kentucky State Police began their investigation on June 7th, 2015, a month after she was last seen. And unfortunately, we've not gotten any more answers. And the only person of interest really seems to be this Virgil Singleton that has publicly acknowledged he was the last to see her. And he claims he passed the lie detector test, but like I said, almost every other source says that he failed the lie detector test. So maybe there needs to be some clear up on that. Maybe he needs to take another one and make the results public. And we want to make sure to give all the sources for the information that we presented.
Got credit again.
Yeah.
We have Kentucky State Police post, their Facebook post 13. WHAS 11 news article, LEX 18. We had an article from there. Troublesome Creek Times, Unsolved Appalachia.
Yeah, awesome website.
Facebook group post from Where's Natasha post. Family statements from Shirley. Friend statement from Joan Ingle. As well as a public social media post, several from Virgil Singleton.
And I don't know if we're ever going to find the answers, if we've gotten any closer. We've just presented the information that we found and the information that we've known for all this time, because not really much has changed, unfortunately. But Natasha needs to be found. So please, anybody out there, be sure to call the police if you have any information. So I think we're probably going to call this one. This was a great episode.
Maybe we can backtrack someday and update.
Yeah, I hope maybe some updates come along. We can always update on these cases. But just like with Kelly Holland, the little boy that disappeared back in the 80s, it's so frustrating, the limited amount of information that is available. And I really hope that someday we can find these answers. But until then, my lovely wife, I think we need to go on to bed. It's getting late. So thank you, everybody, once again for listening. Tune in to us on Spotify, Amazon Music, Audible, Apple Podcast, iHeartRadio. Like, share, comment, spread the word around. Especially an episode like this. People haven't really thought of Natasha in a while, probably.
But we're going to share her information on TikTok as well.
Right. Yeah, we're going to put that information up on TikTok, so go check that out.
A picture of her.
Share it with people. Put the information back out there. Like I said, it's been several years. We need to bring it back to the forefront. Let people remember, Natasha's still missing. So I hope all of you have a wonderful evening. Thank you for listening once again. I am Hillbilly Phantom.
And I'm Appalachian Shade.
And this is Appalachian Not So Quiet. Be sure to come back and join us on the next episode. It'll be coming Friday. Not really sure what we're doing yet.
Haven't decided a topic yet.
But we'll figure it out. So come back and check us out Friday. Till then, take care, everyone. Watch out for them boogers.